Barbie is stepping off the toy shelves and onto the big screen for a live-action adaptation. Now, I already know this movie isn't made for me. I'm not and never will be the demographic. That doesn't mean I can't roast Barbie into oblivion or try to find out if there's something salvageable about this movie. So let's dive in. Barbie is a film where the producer's best decision was finding an actress that actually looked like Barbie and not a kindergartner's clay sculpture. From the first trailer, I thought Barbie would do exceptionally well at the box office. There hasn't been a movie that fully captured a female audience in a fun, feminine way in a very long time. The excitement from the women around me was palpable, and honestly, the trailer did a good job at placing itself as a date movie for all ages. One that might have humor and prevent the male audience that was dragged along from reaching for a shotgun to end their misery. This is not the movie we got. Barbie is a bait and switch where women are portrayed as both powerful girl bosses and inferior to men in every single way. Honestly, if you took a shot every time the movie said patriarchy, your liver would be more pickled than Rasputin's penis. The movie opens with an homage to 2001: A Space Odyssey, with little girls smashing the heads of their baby dolls with the aggression of Alec Baldwin berating his children. Not exactly how I expected a Barbie movie to start. It's like they slapped a family film label on it to lure unsuspecting parents into a plastic nightmare where we watch Ken get cocked for an hour and a half. I can just picture the parents sitting there in the theater, slowly realizing they've made a terrible mistake, like they stumbled into a Barbie-themed episode of Black Mirror. The introduction continues and goes out of its way to make the point that these Barbies aren't your stereotypical Barbies. They are smart and powerful, while also being stereotypical. Which in itself wasn't a bad thing. It becomes a problem because the movie makes it into a problem. I mean, the stereotypes and authenticity for the actual franchise was the main highlight of the movie itself. I can't say I know too much about the Easter eggs and the aesthetic details inside the Barbie world, but I know they were there. It was obvious. And I guarantee that the fans of the franchise will appreciate those aspects. I was even happy to see Rebel Wilson's liposuction leftovers found a job in Barbie Land.
Hey, Doc, what did you do with my mom's fat?
Oh, it's right here in the storage closet.
It's exactly what it looks like.
But hey, it's Barbie, right? We're supposed to get fluffy, fun, and fabulous. Instead, we get a twisted fantasy world called Barbie Land, where all the women rule over a pink utopia and the Kens are about as useful as a Logitech controller inside the Titanic submarine. But honestly, that's kind of the point of Ken. His only real problem is his obsession to get noticed by Barbie.
You know what your problem is? You're putting the pussy on a pedestal.
The first 20 minutes of the movie isn't all that bad. It's lighthearted and silly, in a way I imagine girls would play when they're young. Then all of a sudden, Suicide Barbie comes around the corner and sends the movie spiraling. This is where Barbie's existential crisis begins. Suddenly she's got cellulite and flat feet. I guess this is the equivalent of a woman having a midlife crisis and contemplating getting a belly button piercing at the age of 40 to recapture her fleeting youth. In order to avoid this from happening, Barbie has to go to the real world to find her owner or something and fix whatever's wrong with them. Ken sneaks along and discovers the power of the dreaded patriarchy and man-spreading. It's a classic grand old adventure, just like Lord of the Rings, but with less gay sex.
It's your Sam.
Now, in the real world, the movie turns all the men into toxic caricatures of masculinity. I had just imagined parents squirming in their seats trying to explain to their kids why all the men are portrayed as Harvey Weinstein in Heat. Seriously, there's a sequence where men comment on Barbie's genitals, her ass is smacked, and police officers grotesquely describe her features in front of her. All while Ken does nothing but enjoy the situation. This leads Ken to eventually decide to take over Barbie Land with the dreaded P word and reduce all the Barbies to submissive roles, maids, housewives, and agreeable girlfriends. I mean, talk about hammering the message home with a sledgehammer. It's like the writers were afraid we wouldn't get the men are evil memo, so they spelled it out with big neon letters. Now, it's up to Barbie to convince Ken and the other Barbies to see the light and return to their empowered ways. But surprise, surprise, they rebuff her. But fear not, Gloria, the Mattel employee, comes to the rescue and inspires Barbie with a speech about the problems of being a woman. Because nothing says female empowerment like blaming all your issues on men, right? Cue the slow clap for this groundbreaking display of nuance.
Applaud, everyone! Applaud sarcastically.
With all that being said, the best part of the movie is the Ken fight. Since they don't have weapons, the Kens resort to plastic arrows and sports equipment. And if that wasn't enough, then they start dance fighting. It's utterly absurd. Ryan Gosling is the only man that is bro enough to make ballet dancing in a Barbie movie macho. It's basically a low-T version of Braveheart, fought with sparkles and sunshine. That fight was orchestrated by the Barbies to turn the Kens against each other so Barbie can regain their systemic power and prevent the patriarchy from taking over. And as a concession, the Kens are given a minor role in Barbie Land society, because nothing says equality like denying the Kens' request to be represented on the Supreme Court. So Barbie has her very own Pinocchio moment and becomes a real woman. The movie literally ends with her saying, "I'm here to see the gynecologist." This must have slipped in from the Amy Schumer version of the movie and her inability to go 3 seconds without saying vagina.
Vagina. Vagina. Vagina. Vagina. Vagina. Vagina. Vagina's vagina. 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 Vagina.
Just do women's comedy stuff, you know, talk about how fat you are and how you want to have sex with guys and then say, my vagina, a lot.
Vagina.
I can't wait for the sequel where Barbie schedules her next abortion. Riveting stuff. Basically, Barbie is a cringeworthy attempt at feminist empowerment wrapped in plastic fantasy filled with man-hating cliches. It's a movie that could have been saved if it stuck with the lighthearted imagination of a child playing with Barbie, because those are the moments that shined. But hey, if you're into watching men being reduced to walking punchlines and plastic dolls saving the world from the evils of masculinity, then go ahead and treat yourself to this abomination. For the rest of us, I'll be here contemplating the sanity of the writers who thought it was a good idea to destroy their brand in front of millions of people. Make sure you smash the like button, leave a comment, and share the link on social media. It helps let YouTube know my video is worth watching and will send out notifications. It really helps the channel. Now, if you like what I do and want to support my channel, consider becoming a channel member. You'll gain access to exclusive content like member live streams and have your name listed at the end of my videos.
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I appreciate every single one of my supporters, way more than you know.
They're doing their part. Are you